Hello, beautiful beings. This is day 20 of 365 days of showing up online just as I am, to practice just being enough as I am. And also, there's been so much growth since. I'm loving coming online, I'm loving connecting. I don't know who's watching this, but I want to say thank you so much. I love just coming on here, and today I want to talk about, well, I listened to my day 2 this morning. Sorry, there's a plane going by. It's cold. That's why I have my hat in the middle of beginning of winter. It's May 22nd, or no, May 23rd, and it's really cold today, and I just washed my hair. And I was writing on the porch here in front of my place. There's a park, a little park in front. It's really nice when it's sunny, but today it's rained and it's cold. And this hat was just so perfect. Yeah, I want to talk today about, so I was saying that I re-listened to day 2, and I remember that day, May 6th, I was crying and feeling wounded, feeling the wounds coming up, and on the spot, because we had broken up, me and this person, and I remember I was having tears coming up and feeling a lot of pain. And in the moment of the pain, I actually used my tools. I held myself and I talked to that part. I went to that place with my awareness. Awareness is light, right? So we want to bring awareness to that place that hurts. You're gonna go there and meet that place that hurts, and allow it, be with presence and with compassion, with love. And I did that, and I said, I know you're hurting, I know this sucks, I know it sucks that he left, and I know that you feel not loved and you feel abandoned. I understand, I see you, I love you, I'm here for you, I'm not leaving. I want you to know I'm here for you. I am here. I'm not going anywhere, and you can trust me. And the love that you're looking outside of you, it's right here inside of you. I'm here, and you can count on me. I'll never leave you, and I'll never abandon you. The plane again. I'll never abandon you. And did you know that doing this actually helps you plump the lips? Alright, so I was just waiting for the plane to pass. So I did that over and over, and just sent light and felt. Just allow myself to feel, allow the emotion to be felt. Because when you allow the emotion to be felt, you're actually allowing the emotion to finish its cycle. So that pain, that wound itself, is triggered because it's still trapped in the body. If you actually finish, it's an accumulation of all the time that you didn't finish grieving, or all the times you were sad and you didn't allow yourself to finish the sadness. So there's still energy trapped in the body, in the nervous system, and it can come from past lives, it can come from lineage, ancestors. So it's deep, and as long as it comes up, so that you can actually tend to it, you can actually meet it with self-love, compassion, with understanding, presence, and that's all it needs. So I did that, a few rounds of that, until I felt the charge wind down, until I felt like, I no longer felt the wound. I allowed myself to cry until it was done. instead of rushing the process and okay, it's done, I'm done, okay, I'm leaving. I allowed myself, I was in my car and I allowed myself to just finish, allow that grieving process to be done. And the fact that I did it with awareness, with light onto it, shining light onto it, the light of presence, the light of my breath and my awareness into it, the love, and saying all these things, self-talk, the inner dialogue that we have with this part of us. The plane again. There's a lot of people traveling, so okay, so allowing, this is how it's done. You really want to allow the feeling to be felt, or else if we don't do that, the energy that is looking, the energy of the sadness, the grief that is looking to finish its life cycle, if you cut it, then the 30% left is restored in the nervous system, and then it accumulates with all the other times that it gets restored. So I did that, and the next day I could feel like myself lighter. So that's the process. So what I wanted to say is that sometimes in our healing process, we feel a feeling and we kind of bypass it. It's called spiritual bypass, or just we bypass not because of spirituality, but we bypass because, well, spirituality does, when we want to actually reframe it and change the thought. Like, for example, today I was, let's say I actually had a thought about my body because I've gained weight, and right away I reframe my thought like, oh, my belly, whatever I was noticing, and I reframe it right away saying, no, I love my body is perfect as it is. It's going through something and I'm gonna support it. But what we need to do is allowing that thought, having a pause, like there's a refinement here, when allowing that thought of feeling like, oh, the judgment that I have on my body, I want to tell that judgment, you're allowed to be here. It's not bad that you're judging. I understand it's not your ideal weight, it's not what you're used to. I understand you feel bloated. I understand that you feel bloated and it's not fun, and I understand. I see you, I feel you, I hear you, and allowing that, the acknowledgement of that part of us that judge, understand that and allow that to pass. It takes a few seconds and then boom, you reframe. Actually, I love my body's going through something and I want to support you, my body. I love you, I love everything that you've done for me, and I want to nourish you, I want to listen to you. Like, I'd love to build a deeper relationship with you and tell me what you need. So since I've been building a relationship with my body more, instead of criticizing it, or I wasn't doing out of like being hard on me or anything, but I was just not feeling bloated all the time. I actually have been twice, I've received like images in my head of what my body wanted to eat. One morning I was thinking, what should I eat? And then a salmon came up and I was like, oh, okay. An image of a salmon came up, or I was just like seeing myself eating salmon, and I realized, oh, and it happened like a trance, like a moment where I was like in trance, and then I came back like, oh, okay, my body's telling me it wants salmon. And it happened again with like another time, and it was avocado, and it was an image that my body puts in my head. And it happens when I'm not really like, I'm conscious, but there's a moment where I space out and I receive it, and then okay. So I think it's going to happen more and more. So yeah, I just want to share that when we have a thought, a thinking, a attitude or something, to allow that to happen. Let's say I'm upset, and instead of like trying to correct yourself right away, like okay, let's reframe that, let's not be upset. Allowing yourself to feel the feeling, contain yourself, feel the feeling, and say, I see you, acknowledge the feeling, feel it, feel the upsetness, pause. And that's the art of pause. That's why we want to pause instead of reacting. We want to get to that awareness where you pause, and that's when you pause and feel the feeling, and allow the feeling of being upset have its course, so it lightens the load for your nervous system, so it doesn't stay in your nervous system. And then when it's past, it takes a few seconds. You acknowledge it, see it, okay, you're allowed to be here. I understand you're upset, and you have the right to be upset. You're allowed here. You're allowed to be upset. It's not wrong. There's no part of us that's wrong. It's only a signal. It's telling us something. There's a voice, like you're being upset because there's something you're upset about, and it's not something to brush under a carpet. And then once we actually acknowledge it, it takes a few seconds, it leaves the body, and then you reframe. You're like, you respond, you reframe your thought, you have a moment where you are more connected to your core, your wholeness. You're responding from a place of wholeness instead of a place of wound. So who are you being when you're reacting? When we're reacting from the wounded self. So when we do that, we're being more wounded. We're not actually healing. If we want to heal, we have to actually hold the wound and not let it take over and react. And that's when we fight. That's what happened. We like fight in back and forth, and it's the wound itself that is talking and reacting and behaving. And when that happens, the wound seeks a validation. The wound seeks approval outside of itself. So when we actually take a pause, we talk to the wound, we give it presence, we allow the feeling of it, we allow to feel, we allow ourselves to feel. We get really good at feeling. It takes a moment. We come back, we remember, we connect to our wholeness. And sometimes it's hard because you're in the middle of something and it's heated and it's and that's what self-awareness. So the more you correct yourself, the more you become more aware, the more you're able to pause, and the less reactive you are. And the less reactive you are, the more you're healing. The more reactive, if you're reacting, you're not healing. If you want to heal, you want to pause. If you want to heal, you have to not react and pause. And if you're reacting, you can pause and say, okay, you're not bad for reacting, you're pausing. You really want to use a pause. And that's one of the first things that the Kabbalah teach by David Guillaume, which I love. Pause. This is good. This is happening. The wounds, the way that I see it is like we pause to actually give an embrace to the wound and hug the wound, and really and that's how you heal. You really heal with your inner conversation with the wound. Self-awareness, bring awareness to that place that hurts. Presence, compassion. Are we meeting ourselves with compassion? Are we meeting ourselves with presence when we're feeling those moments of wounds? I could give you another example. That day when I was crying, it's because I had a conversation with this person, and something happened and I reacted from a place of wound, and then it escalated, and then so if I actually took a pause, instead of deleting a message, I deleted a message, and it was annoying to this person, and I actually acted from a wounded place. I was wounded. I just felt a pinch, and I acted. But instead, if I actually instead of reacting, I felt the pinch in my heart, pause, breathe, and tend to that place, that wounded self. It's only a signal. The wounded self is just signaling something to be held. So it signal, I'm hurt. And then I was thinking, oh, he doesn't love me, I'm not loved, I'm abandoned, all the stories came up. And instead, the thing that would have been better to do is to pause, not respond right away, and hold myself and feel the wound and reframe, like feel it. Oh, this is just my wounded self. It's not my story anymore. And love her, and then after a few seconds, a few minutes, respond from my wholeness, from who I truly am, confident, playful, from pleasure, from the light, from who I truly am. So we are not our wounds, but sometimes we think that we are our wounds because it's something we feel. So when we feel our wounds, we want to really get into the practice of just holding them. That's not who we are. We're not our past. We're not our past stories. We're not our wounds. The wounds just wants to be felt and liberated out of our system, out of the nervous system. So we want to learn to hold them with presence and love and compassion, meet them there like that. And then it also teaches our friends to meet us there too, to be met like that too. If we're someone's wounded, instead of judging and criticizing and reacting, we want to be met also by others in compassion and in presence. And that's how it should be in a couple. In relationships, we react because the other person is reacting because she's wounded, but instead of react to the reaction, we want to be held in compassion and in understanding and in presence, and say, you're allowed to feel this way. Let's just hold this. Let's just slow down. Let's just slow down and breathe and let it pass and feel this. You feel, one person could say, I feel pain right now. I just want to slow down and feel this, and then you come back to remembering. That's the power of remembering who you truly are in real life. So that's the work. And when we do that in real life and we catch ourselves in the moment that it happens, healing happens like really quick. Okay, there's another plane. It's an exercise to do for the lips. It really helps for plumbing the lips, and it's really good as a facial exercise. That's what I want to share today. I hope it helps. This is so important to have this. It's self-awareness. It's self-awareness. It's giving more light. It's giving more light to in our field for our wounds, and it's how healing happens. Or else, healing doesn't happen if we keep complaining, if we keep on pointing the finger outside, and if we are not holding ourselves and we wish that we were held by someone else. Just hold us, hold yourself, hold your inner child, hold the version of you that was hurt, and it's such a beautiful system. It's just mechanics of energy. It's how energy works. I hope it helps. And yeah, this journey back home, back to wholeness is beautiful. It's powerful, and it's not always pink. It takes courage and boldness and bravery. It takes courage to be vulnerable and be. This is authentic. This is full authenticity, and hold yourself. This is how we heal in real time. We really get into the habit, and the habit to like pause, go in, give love, feel, allow, whew, and then respond from a wholeness, a place where it's not wounded. We don't want to respond from our wounds. That's what keep the wounds, perpetuate the wounds, and keeps the wound inside the nervous system. All right, it's been 20 minutes. I would love to do some speaking life over ourselves, our being. I am whole. I'm whole. I deeply love myself and accept myself as I am. I'm lovable just as I am. And even if we're healing, as we are healing and in the process of healing, we're still worthy and we're still whole. We can still be whole and still, if you're aware of your wholeness, of what it feels like, wholeness feels like there's nothing missing, you're fulfilled, you already have everything you need, it's all inside, and you want to create those emotions, you want to live from that state. You're fulfilled, you're satisfied, you have everything, there's nothing missing, you don't need anything from anybody else. You're coming from a place of wholeness, so you're sharing with others. You're not taking from others, you're sharing. You're not needing something from others. You desire something, but it's different. When your desires are from a place of wholeness, it's different than a desire that comes from lack. A desire that comes from lack is more a need. Yeah. And yeah, we allow ourselves to grow. I allow myself my imperfections, and allow myself to be loved as I am, as I grow. And yeah, it takes alignment sometimes. It takes alignment. I want to say I went to a constellation, a family constellation 2 days ago on Friday. Wow. Very big difference. I could feel like in 2 days I have already shifted. Today I feel at peace here, living at my parents, being present for them, with them as they are aging, and I feel at peace like I've never felt at peace like this before. There was so much resistance, a lot of things cleared during the family constellation. I highly recommend it if you want to have the contact of who I did it with. I can share with you. Just text me or message me or leave a comment. Yeah, I found that I was sleeping early last night and the night before. I've been trying to sleep early for 5 years, a decade, or ever since I stopped dancing, ever since 2000. 4 years I've been trying to sleep early and haven't been able. And then yesterday I went to bed, it was 9. I woke up a few times, but my body is starting to rest finally. And the night before also I woke up. I have to say I feel a lot of tiredness still in my body, and all I need is to rest. And it's happening every single day, day by day, step by step. Thank you so much for listening. I wish you the best.